Absolutely not. And my advice to that unnamed, low-level French politician would be to remind them that it's only because of the United States of America that the French are not speaking German right now. So
Yes, Caroline. Thank you. Thank you.
That is a press secretary.
Yes! Oh, man. So nice to have curly out of our hair, isn't it? Karoline Leavitt, you rock! That is awesome.
It's been a devastation.
Yeah, right. Also, she took on CNN yesterday, right, on the auto pen signature thing, because are those null and void now? All of those pardons that were signed with the auto pen are null and void if Biden didn't actually sign them. Here's that little back and forth.
the president was begging the question that I think a lot of journalists in this room should be asking about whether or not the former president of the United States, who I think we can all finally agree was cognitively impaired. I know it took people some time to finally admit that, but we all know that to be true, as evidenced by his disastrous debate performance against President Trump during the campaign. I digress on that. But the president was raising the point that did the president even know about these pardons? Was his legal signature used without his consent or knowledge? And that's not just the president or me raising those questions, Caitlin. According to the New York Post, there are Biden officials from the previous White House who raised those questions and wondered if the president was even consulted about his legally binding signature being signed onto documents. And so I think it's a question that everybody in this room should be looking into, because certainly that would propose perhaps criminal or illegal behavior if staff members were signing the president of the United States autograph without his consent.
Right. And who's going to know, by the way? How do you prove that? I don't know how you prove that either way, frankly.
That he didn't know?
Yeah. Yeah, because he's not going to admit to that. He's not going to, I didn't.
I've heard he's good under deposition.
No. Yeah, right.
Like Kay Granger good.
Yes. Yeah, like Kay Granger good, I'm sure. So, wasn't there more between Leavitt and Caitlin Collins
they bumped
yesterday?
Heads a couple times.
Yeah, they talked about the judge's verbal order to stop the deportations.
I have a question on the timeline of the flights. You keep talking about the judge's written order, which hit the docket Saturday night at about 7:26 p.m., but he issued a verbal order before that at about 6:45 and 6:48 p.m. based on the court hearing, a verbal order from the bench. Does the White House feel the need to comply with a verbal order from this judge?
Again, as I said, all of the planes subject to the written order of this judge departed U.S. soil, U.S. territory before the judge's written order.
But what about the verbal order, which of course carries the same legal weight as a written order, and said for the planes to turn around if they were in the air?
There's actually questions about whether a verbal order carries the same weight as a legal order, as a written order, and our lawyers are determined to ask and answer those questions in court.
Okay. So put that in your pipe and smoke it, Caitlin.
So what would CNN have the United States do?
Shoot down the plane.
Wait, no, hold on. I mean, like now. Like, let's just say right now. Would they fly a plane there and be like, all right, gang members are going back to the United States. Come on, here we go.
I guess. I wouldn't be surprised if that's what they wanted. I really wouldn't be surprised.
Yes.
Bring them all back. I don't know how many there were, but there were two.
Just two.
Okay. That was a waste of space on that plane then.
No, I read the number and I forgot what it was, but it was substantial.
It was a lot. Yeah, it was. Wasn't it?
Like 2 bus loads.
Yeah, it was quite a few. So bring them back. Bring them back and let them out. Let them roam free in the land of the free, in the home of the brave.
238.
Yeah, I thought it was hundreds. Wow. Also, is CNN mad about the White House remodel?
Yes, they are.
Okay. Cut 23.
Oh. So you already know that President Trump is working to dramatically reshape the federal government. But he's also looking to transform another historic aspect of the presidency, and that is the Oval Office.
Yeah.
Since President Trump moved in nearly 8 weeks ago, he has more than tripled the number of paintings that you see hanging on the walls of the Oval Office. Okay. A lot of them are former presidents who once occupied that space. And I'm told Trump had his eye on some of them. He knew which ones he'd like to see hanging in the walls of the Oval, as every president has the chance to redecorate when they move in. But several others, he actually flipped through a catalog and looked through a national collection to see which ones he'd like to see hanging on the walls.
Cool. And?
There's so many that there's almost not really any wall space left when you're inside the Oval.
So what?
But the president hasn't stopped there. Also in keeping with a style that he has adhered to for decades, there's a lot more gold inside the Oval Office.
Okay,
if you look above the mantle, there are several golden figurines lined across it. And often when the president is greeting a world leader, sitting in those two chairs before the fireplace, you can see the golden medallions that are now in front of it.
Yes, it is.
And if you look over to the tables, the sign tables, you can see golden figurines of eagles placed there.
I'm with you on this,
If you look closely above the doors, the president actually had these golden cherubs shipped in from his Mar-a-Lago club in South Florida and has placed those there as well.
How dare he ship them in from Mar-a-Lago?
Now, I've been inside the Oval several times. It definitely still has that historic look to it that you've known for decades.
Oh, good.
But it certainly has much more of the Trump stamp on it these days. I'm also told he's not stopping there. When you look outside the windows of the Oval Office to the Rose Garden,
it's a gold garden.
Work is expected to start any day there now on Trump's effort to try to reshape it by essentially paving over the Rose Garden, that grassy area that you see where presidents hold ceremonies or press conferences.
What are we going to do?
And he wants to make it more of a patio style and put pavers down and have it look essentially like where he holds court often.
Maybe put in a barbecue, maybe an outdoor kitchen.
Allies. He's personally reviewed those blueprints and even met with the curators as he seeks to put his stamp not just on the Oval Office, but really the entire West Wing in general.
That's none of your business.
Are we supposed to be outraged by this?
Yeah, we are. I guess we are.
Yes, we are.
By her handheld announcement.
Yes.
I'm over that.
What is that new phenomenon where everybody holds the microphone in front of them?
It's irrationally pissing me off.
Me too.
It's weird.
It's asinine
and,
that everybody's doing it now. Why? Why?
And Trump added something new to the White House. He added the
cherubs.
No, there's something. Go ahead and put the picture up.
Okay.
Oh, we're going to be pissed.
The Constitution now is inside the Oval Office.
How dare he put that up?
That thing is old. That's from the 1700s.
You know how old that is? Real old. Okay? You know who the people are who wrote that thing?
Slave owners, I heard.
Thank you.
Okay, that's a lot of gold. Look at the gold, even the gold drapes and curtains.
Those have been there since 2016, and Biden kept them.
Oh.
Did he do that or Obama?
Really? The gold drapes were there already?
The gold drapes were there since 2016. Trump, changed them.
Okay.
Biden ignored them, and now I guess they're still there.
Oh, he put them in, and then Biden left them.
Biden left them up.
Okay. So he's just added to the gold motif.
Yes.
I mean, he's the resident now. I don't like it. It's not my style, but he doesn't care.
Yeah. No. We're not president. Honestly, if I were president, I mean, the Oval Office would be unintentionally trashed out.